Welcome again, Gemini. Dadhichi here. It's May 2016. I'm from astrology.com.au with your monthly synopsis. For those of you that are new, welcome. You know, finding meaning is sometimes difficult, especially if we're looking at current circumstances through the lens of the past. Right now you have 3 planets transiting through your 12th house, and on the 7th we see a new moon taking place in this 12th house. The 12th house, along with the 8th house, is one of the really secretive but also spiritual houses of the zodiac. So could I put it to you that this month, and even beyond, I think, is going to be the trigger for some really deep analysis and breaking through into those areas of your psyche that may have been obstructed before. And unfortunately, being human beings, those past experiences are often submerged so deeply into the subconscious, we're not often aware that they are influencing pretty much everything that we do. So this month for you, and I want to talk about the way to expand yourself and move forward rather than simply going through a chronological sequence of events. We'll talk about a few dates, but I think it's more important for you to tap into that part of your nature that's going to help you to release a lot of that stuff. You know, basically bullshit that that you don't need anymore, that is really interfering with your relationships, interfering with your ability to, you know, become the best you can to achieve success in life. So it's not just a spiritual house, it is a house of release. In fact, the Hindu astrologers call it the moksha sthana, or the house of liberation. Depending on what you define as liberation, I like to extend this idea so it's not purely a spiritual concept. I think before we get to the whole spiritual emancipation, we need to look at emancipating ourselves from those emotions and events of our past that are really holding us back and tying us down. You do have opportunities there with this new moon on the 7th to open up a whole new vista of vision. Jupiter is the way forward as well, because it gives you the chance to expand yourself. And we see, as I've mentioned in the past, for the past few months, the 4th house of your horoscope having to do with that satisfaction within yourself, your inner heart. And so this is really where you're going to do your best work right now and find your success. It doesn't matter how much success you've got on the outside. If you're not feeling happy within yourself and flowing in the moment, then you know, what's the point of everything outside? It's not really going to satisfy you. And that's also shown by the fact that you have Mars and Saturn in your 7th house of relationships just now. So rather than focusing on that thing which is the main problem, which you think is the main problem, it's sort of like when you're sick, you often feel a pain somewhere, but if you go to the doctor, they might actually say, look, that's just a symptom of some other problem. So perhaps what I'm saying to you here astrologically and in terms of your life, sometimes when you're looking at a problem, Gemini, it's not that thing that is the problem. So here we see the outer manifestation of a lot of relationship issues, the struggle there, the frustration, but it's actually got to do with something far deeper, stemming back to the past. And that's what I want you to look at this month. Now by the 22nd, your ruling planet, which is retrograde, Mercury, in that 12th house, will start to go forward, and that happens on exactly the same day that we see the full moon in this relationship sector of your horoscope. So I think that's a fairly significant turning point for you if you know, we're talking about the month of May. And thereafter, I think, let me have a look at my list here. Mercury moves into the sun sign for those born under Gemini. Let's have a look here. Well, it actually goes stationary direct, as I said, on the 22nd. But Venus, which is moving through the 12th house and very friendly to you, moves into your sun sign on the 24th, a couple of days later. So those couple of days are very significant. And if you've been struggling or having difficulties in any sort of relationship, that transit, I think, because it's going to look very powerfully at your 7th house, which is this relationship house where we see the Mars and Saturn, that should soften things for you. But a point of caution there, the Venus opposite Mars makes you irascibly sexual and really impulsive. So you have to be careful of that, because then we see the opposition to Saturn, which can then cause you to pull back as quickly as you were lunging forward. So relationships should be kept on a very balanced, even keel. Don't overestimate the response of others, and just play that game with a little bit of wait and see, because you could be disappointed in that. I'd like you to just keep focused, however, on this 12th house stuff, the stuff from your past that is indicating you may have really turned a blind eye to that, and that is the secret. I've got a feeling too that that's possibly affecting your health, because we see the 6th ruler, Mars, that planet we've been talking about in your relationship sector, looking directly at your sun sign. And that, up until August, maybe even September, is going to play out its karmic influences in the way you deal in relationships, the frustrations you're feeling there, and even to some extent your work, which still has Neptune, that very, very slow-moving planet, giving you the idealism, the vision that you want for your work, but the frustration and the inability to actually move forward. So, bearing all that in mind, I'd like you to, join me again next month. But in the meantime, take a look at our website, astrology.com.au, to get a bit more insight into that. There's lots of information on the daily, monthly, and yearly readings, how you are going to, get through this over the next few months, and that will act as an adjunct to what I'm saying here month by month. So I do hope you'll join me. Till then, have a great month. Take care for now. Bye-bye.